Hello and welcome to another whiteboard training video. I'm Isaiah Henkel with Cheeky Scientist, and today I want to talk to you about why hiring managers discard PhD resumes. Now, they don't discard all PhD resumes, but there are common mistakes that PhDs make in particular that result in employers not looking at their resumes or looking at the start of their resumes and then discarding them. Even if you're lucky enough to get through applicant tracking system software, when you upload a resume online, it doesn't go to an actual person, it goes to a software program. If you somehow get through that software program, an actual person's going to see your resume, and there's a variety of things. I have 9 different things that'll make them throw that away. How do we know this? We've talked to a lot of hiring managers. We have hiring managers that help us at Cheeky Scientist. They help us evaluate PhD resumes, find common mistakes, and talk about how to fix those mistakes. What's the first mistake? Having a CV style resume, okay? Having a CV style. Now, if you're in Europe, a CV could mean an industry resume or it could mean an academic CV, right? It's very often referred to as a CV either way. What we're talking about here is your industry resume, maybe your industry CV, depending on what country you're from. The key is it should only be 1 to 2 pages, okay? If you're applying for an industry job, it needs to be 1 to 2 pages and structured very, very differently than your academic CV. An academic CV is just a peer-reviewed timeline of your work history. Okay, an industry resume needs to talk about your results, why you are a good fit for the company. It's a persuasive document. We're going to talk more about this during our free webinar next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and again at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on resumes. It's a resume training webinar. Again, I'll put information on that about that webinar in the comment section here. You can sign up for it. You can go to phdsgethired.com. If you put your name and email on phdsgethired.com, I'll send you an invite for that free webinar next week. Number 2, slow contact info. What do I mean by slow contact info? Very often, people who are applying for jobs, especially PhDs, they don't want to put their academic email address, right? Because they don't want their institution or their department or their PI, who likely has access to their email inbox, seeing that they're applying to jobs. That's okay, but don't use a Hotmail or a Yahoo address with, I like frogs at yahoo.com. Okay, you don't want to do this. It needs to be professional. Use a professional contact email, but also use a contact email that you check frequently. Because if an employer is looking through resumes and they email you, they want to hear back very, very quickly, right? You should also put your phone number on your resume too, and make sure it's a phone you actually use, right? A phone that's on you, preferably your mobile phone, which you should keep turned on if you're looking for jobs. That phone rings, right? You want to answer it, or you want to get back to the voicemail as soon as possible, because if you don't, they're going to move on to the next resume and they could find a candidate they like just as much as you. Okay, so very important to have a professional contact email, professional contact phone number that you check frequently, that you're not slow in getting back to. Number 3, past focused, right? Most PhD resumes, even if they get the 1 to 2 page resume format correctly, all of their bullet points are focused on the past. They don't do anything to tell a story about why they are a good fit for the position they want to get to in the future. Okay, in other words, their resumes are not future focused. How can you make your resume future focused? We're going to cover a variety of ways on next week's webinar. Okay, next week's webinar is Thursday at 1 p.m. and again at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to phdsgethired.com to sign up, and I'll send you an invite for that webinar early. But again, one of my favorite ways to make your resume future focused, use the word relevant. Okay, talk about your skills that you have, both technical and transferable, in the frame of how they're relevant for the position that you want. Again, future focused. Critical. Most PhDs are not doing this, okay? You can separate yourself from most of the competition, whether they're PhDs or not, just by having a resume that's future focused, that tells a story about why you're the perfect fit for that position. Study that job posting carefully. Go on informational interviews. Figure out exactly what they're looking for the position, and then tell a story in your bullet points using both transferable skills, technical skills, results, the word relevant about why you are the perfect fit for that position. Number 4, run-on sentences. As PhDs, we like to get as much information onto a document as possible, okay? You probably know exactly how to adjust the margins of your Word document or of your Google Drive document, right? You've probably adjusted your margins before. Maybe it's for a paper you were submitting in the past. Maybe it's for your dissertation, where you've changed the margins down to, maybe 0.5, 0.2, just to get a few more words on there. As PhDs, we want as much information as possible. We have a hard time cutting out that information. You have to cut information out on your resume. You have to make it as simple as possible, but not simpler, okay? Live by that. As simple as possible, but not simpler. What does this mean with this specific point? Don't make 2 sentences into one. Get rid of one of those sentences. Every bullet point should be a sentence. It's okay if it's a little bit longer than a normal sentence because you want to add a transferable skill, you want to add a technical skill, and a quantifiable result. And we go through those 3 parts in detail in our webinar next week. You want to have those 3 things, but it can't be a run-on sentence that just goes on and on and on and on, right? Use punctuation correctly, and if you have to use punctuation in the middle of a bullet point, it's too long. Number 5, not personalized. Every resume has to be targeted to that individual position. You've probably heard that before, but what you also need to add is a personal note. Some positions, some companies require a very formal cover letter, but it's actually much more rare in today's world than you might think. Usually, just an email or just a short personal note. Right? A lot of platforms, whether it's Nature Jobs or Indeed, etc., give you the option of adding a short personal note. It could just be an email that you're sending your resume to, right? You have your resume attached to an email. Send a short personal message in that email to the hiring manager or to the person that's passing on your resume to the hiring manager. It goes a long way. If I'm looking at 2 different resumes and one has a personalized note, not a note that I know they've sent out to everybody, or a cover letter I know that's generic and has a few words changed that has been sent out to everybody, but something personal about this person, about me, right? About the hiring manager, about the position, something I know I know it's personal because it has detailed knowledge about the company. They immediately move to the top of the list. Jargon-Stuffed. Number 6, Jargon-Stuffed. Don't try to use the same big words you would use in academia on your industry resume. Who are the first people to read your industry resume? Recruiters and hiring managers. Do they have a PhD in most cases? No. If they see a bunch of jargon, they're going to know that you just don't get it, and they'll probably be slightly annoyed. We've heard this from a lot of hiring managers, from Novartis, from Genentech. You don't want to appear like you can't speak to a normal person, okay? You have to be able to speak nerd and normal person, right? It's a skill, so get rid of the jargon. Yes, you want to use keywords that are in the job posting, but not a bunch of jargon that you would use in academia, okay? So put the academic speak aside, okay, and speak like a normal person. Number 7, the PhD's missing. Now, you might have been told this false tale that leaving your PhD off of your resume means you're more likely to get hired. Maybe somebody told you this, or they had this experience once, or their friend's second cousin left it off and got hired faster. Don't believe those lies. First of all, you're a PhD, okay? What's the sample size here? One person's opinion? It's not the case. Look at the data. There's a great mass bio report, both 2008, 2017, 2016, that shows that more PhDs were hired into STEM roles last year than people with their master's degree. Your PhD is very valuable, so put it on your resume, okay? You're more likely to get hired with your PhD. Number 8 and number 9 I'm going to do together. Your soft skills are missing, your hobbies are missing. We obsess, we worship technical skills and technical language as PhDs. It's just a fact. You have to put that aside because once you have that PhD, you have a box checked. The hiring manager, recruiter who doesn't have a PhD, what they're looking for is that, again, you can speak like a normal person and that you understand there's other skills that are important to the job besides technical skills. Plus, as a hiring manager, you're going to be looking for someone who can communicate on your level, who can talk about conflict resolution skills, which is a key transferable skill, project management skills, another key transferable skills, people management skills, right? Product and market knowledge, right? Knowledge of mergers and acquisitions the company's going through. These things that showcase your non-technical side, your business acumen, very, very important. Put those skills in your resume, your non-technical or your transferable skills, and include something personal that you do, an organization you volunteer with, a hobby. If you can't think of a hobby, I always tell people, put down that you are an avid hiker. Do you walk to the lab, right? Do you walk to the classroom? you're an avid hiker, right? It could be arts and crafts, a sport you used to play, an instrument, whatever it is. Put something on there that differentiates you from every other PhD who's just listing academic awards, something that the recruiter or hiring manager can identify with, something that the majority of the population enjoys, like spending time outdoors, right? A volunteer organization that anybody could volunteer for. Very, very important to do. So if any of this resonated with you, or if any of these 9 points I'm talking about you've made a mistake on in terms of your resume, make sure you join our free resume webinar, next Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, completely free. Just go to phdsgethired.com or click the link in the comment section or above this video, and you can get a free invite. Just put your name and email in, and I'll invite you to that webinar early. Thank you, and remember your value as a PhD.